just before I weld this back up, I just want you to have a look inside here. There's two big braces that go across here and another one across here. And you can see when, again, I'm going to bang on about galvanising, is that I don't think you can get zinc right the way up there. I'd love to get a galvanised bulkhead, an old one, and cut it up and have a look inside. That said, the panel is now cut and trimmed to fit. Now I did go a bit wild and I cut this back a bit too far because I wanted to get some good metal, but I can get in there with a MIG and weld that up and it'll look alright, and then I can get a buffer in there and buff that up. Ooh, a bit of buffing. So what I've done is, I've got my pry bar and just tweaked this front edge like that, look. Just a little bit, all the way around. And then, like I said, I've been playing around with this for the last half hour. Now that is going to fit nice. The holes don't line up, but that is going to fit really snug into there. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my MIG welder and spot weld this in, but mark out where the panel actually is inside to weld. Very important. So we're going to take this off again. We know we can do some spot welds here, right? And we know we can do some spot welds here. That's good. We know we can do several spot welds around here and several spot welds around here. Now there is a gap under there. I can't do anything about it, but I'll put a little bit of caulking in once we're finished. In fact, look, we can even put some mark some spot welds out. Not that one, not that one. About here somewhere, around about here somewhere, around there. So we can do some spot welds around there. We'll wet them off. Yeah, and up here, big spot weld up there. So if now what I'm going to do is you can do this with a drill. You can drill the holes. Just make sure that when you've drilled anything or you've ground anything, just run a soft buffer over the back so you don't get a burr like you do on a drill hole, so you're not fighting against it. You want this flat as possible. So I'm going to do that, and then we'll get some welding done, and hopefully we'll get this bit done. Oh, it's only 11 o'clock. God, I've been out here for hours. Right, we'll get this bit done before dinner time then. So I've got my patch all done. You can see there's a whole host of holes in there. Oh, that's a lot of pages. And now I'm going to use some Tech screws like we did on the floor. And we're going to push this in now. We're going to do it sort of like funky. Like that. Because that's going to pull the panel in whilst we weld it. See? Going to make it nice and flat. Like that. Now the front's not bad at all. But what we're going to do, we've got to pull it in just a little bit, just so it doesn't warp. There. Ah, bugger it, we'll just leave it like that. You can see the idea. What we're going to do is just fill these plug holes up here. Couldn't see across there, across here. Tap this back down into that joint. But when we come to do our blending, it's going to look real nice because we're not welding on this seam like you used to do on the bit that we cut out. By God, it's getting difficult to breathe in this mask. I'm getting hyperventilated. So let's get welding. Then we can have some din-dins. So I've got the initial spot welds done. Now we take out the Tech screws. They're a bit warm. Oops. pick them up later. Ow. Might just put a little tack at the bottom of that one because it's coming out. Anyway, I have to weld it on here anyway. That's going to be warm. A pair of pliers to get that bolt on. That's why I wear my shop coat. Oh, there's another one there, look. And now all we've got to do is weld up the holes. Problem with this welder, I think it's getting on a bit. Just so much and then it stops. I'll fix the welder, weld up this bit, you saw how to do it, and then we'll buff off that. Seam weld down here, I'll show you how to do that. They should be good to go. I've got the welder on the lowest setting, and I'm going to now start to tack this piece up here. I've got all around here. It looks a bit pigeon shitty, but it isn't really. I had the speed a little bit too high on the lowest setting. The reason is it's such an old machine I can't see what the dial is saying. So we're going to tap a little bit at a time. Don't do all the seam all at once because it'll warp. That's the last thing we want with the welding. So even that's a bit high still. Better, but not. It's still too high. Let's try it at the top. Oh, that's a bit better. The wire speed's really important because what it'll do is it'll start to build up before it melts. You want it just to sort of melt and flow easy. It's a good little welder for doing thin stuff, but this original bulkhead is very, very thin, so you're welding thin to a little bit thicker, so you have to be careful. So I'm going to get on and weld that up and then we'll buff it up and have a look at what it looks like. So there you go. It's a bit cloudy and I hope you can see what's happened. That's now on there. It's nice and solid. I had a little bit of a trouble with some rusty bits. You know, the rust underneath this metal, but there's nothing I can do. So all it remains now is a good old buffing up, and then that's done. Yeah, not too bad a job. Oh, and don't forget to drill the holes in from the back. Yeah, we've got to do that. And look at this here. You see the holes don't line up, but the panel does. Weird, eh? So just watch out for that. I'll buff it up and then we'll call this job a day, and then we'll go and get some lunch, and then we'll have to split this video into two when we do the door pillar. So there you go. It's all buffed off. It's a little bit lower here on the weld. Oh, that's not a problem. At least you're not filling in and welding all the way around here. I've got a bit more work to do at the top, but basically that's it. I'm going to redo this weld down here because I'm not happy with that. Then the door pillar. So really I've got to finish all this lot off first. And I think I'll just give it a very light skim of filler, some really good quality filler. Then I can put this back on. I might even just use aluminium filler for the top of here. I think I might do. Grind it up well, but really rough it up so it grips. But anyway, it's all welded up. But it's a long job, eh? Well, it's a long job the way I do it. But that's the only way really to do it, to put a piece in. I mean, in days gone by I've actually put full half bulkheads in from a good Land Rover and actually cut it down here, right away across the bottom, and joined it in the middle. That was the best way to do it. But these aftermarket patches, well, they are what they are, aren't they? So, we've made this corner better. It is remarkably thin steel, so it's very difficult to weld. And then we'll get on with this. So, making Land Rovers better, yes, but what a price to pay. We'll talk to you later.